everyone, we're back today, and today we have a little bit of a different video. Today, we've got a story about a pumpkin. So, when I think about stories with pumpkins, what comes to me first? Well, okay, first one is James and the Giant Peach, but that isn't really a peach, or that isn't really a pumpkin, it's a peach. But the first thing that comes to my mind about pumpkins is the pumpkin turning into a carriage in Cinderella. That sounds like a fairy tale, right? Pumpkins can't make a good carriage. Their skin is flimsy. You can carve them with those like really flimsy knives that you can bend with your hands for Halloween. They then turn into mush. It just seemed on par with the mice making her dress, you know? Like if your dress is made of mice, why not ride in a carriage made of a pumpkin, right? Well, my mom thought that'd be fun to grow Cinderella pumpkins. I was like, oh, fun. Like, just like for fun of the fact that it was a Cinderella pumpkin. She didn't really think much of it. I didn't think much of it. Things were fine. I came back home to the holidays, and we had these Cinderella pumpkins. They're definitely a lot smaller than Cinderella pumpkins I've seen videos of in other YouTube videos. And these also have an interesting thing to them. This is a skin that I brought home from a pumpkin that we cut into over the holidays, which was like a month ago. I found that she had used a hammer to break open one of these pumpkins. And the skin, after she baked the pumpkins, was very impressive. Cinderella pumpkins are supposed to be good carving pumpkins. I thought it was like jack-o'-lantern carving, not wood carving. But it's like this is real pumpkin. This is the skin of these pumpkins. My mom literally used a Sawzall to break into this thing, and then like we spent forever like with various toothed knives and stuff to cut this out. I looked at this and I was like, you know, I want one of these pumpkin skins for a flower pot. And so we carved open this thing, and true, this one looks a little less real inside. Like we carved the top off, we then baked it, took the pumpkin out. I ate some of the pumpkin, like I promise, this is a real pumpkin. It does not seem like a real pumpkin. It's a fairy tale pumpkin. It's Cinderella pumpkin. But I ate the pumpkin and I have not turned into a glass slipper in midnight, so I think it is real. I don't know. But to protect this, like this is very much wood. Like this is a month-old skin from a pumpkin that was eaten a month ago. I'm still, my mind's boggling over that. Here is a couple of the slips when we were trying to get into it with the Sawzall because it was giving the Sawzall difficulties. But to protect the skin from moisture being a flower pot, we first went and melted wax and covered the inside with wax. But after a while, I found that the wax was melting. So I remelted the wax, had to go over, and then I went over with a Liquitex acrylic paint. It's acrylic, so it's water resistant, not waterproof, but hopefully the wax will be good. It's also with latex, so it is kind of rubbery. It has, like, it'll give flex, it can hold things together, so hopefully it will protect the wax to keep the wax from cracking. And if it does, hopefully, since it's latex based, hopefully it won't crack, so it'll still help protect the pumpkin somewhat. But yeah, I have some plants. Most of these did not root the way I wanted them to. There'll still be plenty of room left for if any of these that I want to put in here do root, I can put them in. Okay, I promised that I would have at least the one horse in the video, but I need room. I have, like, the soil comes in a commercial thing, but I just like started throwing a little bit of everything in there. Oh, okay, did have a drainage hole. I don't know if I showed that. Like, I basically used the stem end, or not the stem end, the blossom end, like dug that out, cut that as the drainage hole, because that was like the only place where I wouldn't need a drill to create a drainage hole. And it's in the correct spot. I recently took apart an old dead flower pot which had moist soil and mixed the soil in with the soil in the bag, so the soil is kind of not moist. Like, I will be needing to water it, but I like the consistency of the soil going into this. I don't want to go too deep in this flower pot though, because I don't want to go past the Liquitex paint line. Okay, I think that is enough soil. Oh, okay, I've heard some cracking now. I'm very nervous. I don't see anything, so I'm going to handle this with more care now. Like, it's a very tough pumpkin, but this is still a pumpkin shell and it's got a lot more weight in it. So first, this is what was left over from a green onion. Like, this was what was going to be thrown away. Okay. It is tangled up with the dandelions. The dandelions are for another project. I promise, I have lots of projects and they don't all mix. Go back in there, dandelions. Okay, but I'm going to plant this. Hopefully it starts doing well because I've been noticing the leaves are starting to wilt. But then as this grows, I can start like cutting the leaves to put in soups and stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, basically this will turn into a leek. It is good to have a leek in your boat every once in a while, you know? So nestle that. Unfortunately, it's like I have a bunch of basils I was trying to root. The basils are not rooting right now. It's honestly really hard to basil this time of year. I'm going to just let them do what they do. They're probably gonna die, but if they grow, they will go into the pot. The other thing I have ready, we have the succulent. I do not know what kind of succulent it is, but we've got a little root there. So it gets to go in. What do, So now it's like we have the basils we'll be waiting on. We also have this polka dot plant, like hopefully start, like it's not started yet. I did realize that, yeah, it's probably too, like the water was too cold for them to really root well. Like, we had the onion and the succulent start root, but those are very easy to root. The onion honestly started with roots. They come with roots from the store. But yeah, like it was too cold, so I've now like moved them into, like once I'm done with it here, I'm gonna go put them back into the room where my lizard is, so hopefully the added temperature there will help start them rooting. But we now have a flower pot made out of a pumpkin, which is not what I would have expected. It looks very bare now. Like, if any of these plants root, I'll add those in. I might end up adding something from a plant from another project I'll get later. I think it'd be really cool to add moss into this, but like, I would really like to get wild moss. Wild moss is not the easiest thing to come by in the northern hemisphere in early February. So yeah, I'll have to keep you posted. Hopefully these grow well. Hopefully the succulent will grow up so we'll be able to actually see it. See you guys later. Please like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day.